What's going on out there, YouTube land? It's Joe Rants Orange back again, and today we are making this video ass backwards. So normally I have the box and stuff like that to show you what we're going to be reviewing. This nice cool cloud of smoke to reveal it. But I made this this video completely backwards, but you'll be seeing it completely forward like normal. Today we're doing a review on the Ijoy Limitless RDTA Plus. This is the second edition of this Bad Larry, and this thing is huge, and it is, like I said, a Bad Larry. So check it out. Alright, so here's the outside of the box. Limitless RDTA Plus. Outside's pretty cool, but realistically all we're going to do with this box is probably throw it away. They got some new stuff that they put on the back here. If you wanted to read, this is the upgrades from the original Limitless RDTA. You know, there's a plethora of things that are new, but I don't understand why they just didn't make this that good the first time. I don't really know. I don't have the original one either, so I couldn't tell you what really is different and if this is even better than the normal one. So it's got a nice outside plastic case here. So we'll take this off, and then what we do first, we want to do this, or we want to talk about a screwdriver. Let's go with we'll go with the context, the contents in this package first. So this is where you're gonna get. We got some little grub screws that come out, which I will probably lose. It's true. This is going to be for your 510 adapter, so you can use your other drip tips, like your Delrin or whatever drip tips you normally use, which we will talk about, and I'll put that on. Keep draining this bag. It's like Christmas. More grub screws in case you strip them. God, this bag is so small. Jesus Christ. Oh my God. Alright, this in here, this is so you can block one side, which I'll show you because we're probably just going to throw one coil in it just to show how this thing works, and then maybe later on I'll throw another coil in there. So we'll talk about that after. Some extra O-rings. O-rings for days. More O-rings if you want to change the colors. So pretty much the rest in this bag is some O-rings so you can change the color. And they come with, I guess these are fused Clapton, sorry. There's two of these. These are pretty big. Actually, they're huge. This is like I believe a 3mm. I should just get my Coal Master and just put it in there, but I'm pretty sure, almost 100%, that this is 3mm coils in here. Okay. So you know what is pretty cool about this is this glass, this extra replacement glass piece, is actually it's tinted, so it's dark. But I feel like that would limit the amount of juice you can see actually inside, so I'm gonna stick with the standard one, the standard glass that is actually here until I break this one. But in the, I don't know, a year that I've been vaping, I've actually never broke a tank at all. I usually use tank bands, which I don't have on this one, so I don't even know why I just showed you that. But I do have tank bands on the other tanks when I do drop them, but I couldn't tell you if it was going to break or not. Alright, so we'll put that down, and the last thing inside here, you have a screwdriver, which is better quality than the little blue screwdrivers that normally get sent. So I could probably use this on other things, like my house, when I'm trying to put together like a table from IKEA, and it takes me 6 hours to figure it out. Okay, so you got the screwdriver, and then we're going to talk about the tank here. Okay, so we have the outside is pretty much like a bandana type design, which is pretty cool. I think that's pretty legit. This tank is monstrous too. Okay, so let's take this thing apart and play with it. So we're just gonna unscrew anything that comes off first. Alright, so what is this? What's this all about? This is also how you adjust the airflow. Let's just put that back on real fast. So let's put that back on, and this is how you can adjust the airflow. So you can have it totally closed, or you can have it totally open, or you can do it a quarter, halfway. Alright, that's a waste of time. So anything that you do on this side is going to be the same exact on this side as well, just like many of the tanks that are made. So we'll just put it open, we're going to take this thing back off. It just slides off with the O-rings here. There's no unscrewing that you need to do at all, so we will put this down. This deck is huge inside. I think you can put like a quarter in here. I'm going to get a quarter actually. So let's we're going to unscrew this part, as my phone goes off, and this top cap just pretty much slides off. And what really goes on here is this glass here, it sits on this rubber like this O-ring type, but the actual grooves right here on each corner of the post, there's 4 of them, that's where the threads are. So the threads actually thread inside into this cap in here. So when you do put it back on, it sits on here, and then we're just gonna get the threads going because we don't want to cross thread it, and we're just gonna tighten it a little bit, and then good to go, right? Okay, so let's take this back off again, and you can pull out this part too. This thing's like a Jedi, so you can take this out too for easy cleaning, and it's only going to have one input to actually fill it, and it's going to be identified by the watermark down here, or the teardrop, or the salty tears of people who complain. What else can I think of right now? I don't know. Anything else that you can resemble that as this teardrop looking watermark looking thing? You need Depends for your diapers because you're old. Whatever you want to, whatever you can think of. So let's put that back in, and let's explain what that actually does, right? You can take off this glass too for the replacement. What you can do, let's say, put your finger right here and your thumb, because I've noticed that if you try to pull this glass off, it's quite hard to actually get it off because of the suction, and you don't want to break your glass before you can actually use it. So just like that. So just put slight pressure with your finger up on this post, or whatever post you choose to use. Alright, so it's true. So this comes from the Coil Master. I know we're not talking about that at all, but this is the 3mm bit here, and it is true that it inside the diameter or circumference is actually 3mm. It's true. Okay, so let's take that out. What I did previously was I just unscrewed the grub from the right side and from this post too, so it would make it faster. I should just throw 2 in there to tell you the truth, but let's just throw 1 in for the purpose of this video. I'm going to take the standard coils that came with it, and we're just going to push it up so it's even in the middle with the juice wells that are going to go down like that. We're just going to take the screwdriver that comes with it, and we're just going to turn it a little bit. Then we're going to take this one, hopefully it's in focus. We'll just put that down, and you know, this is why I brought this out, because I knew this was going to be a problem. As you see that the coil is hella sideways, so we're just going to put that in there, and then we're going to even this up. So I'm going to loosen this side real fast a little bit. I'm going to even this. I should take the glass off too, actually, damn it. Okay. Now what we'll do, make sure that that's even. I'll pull it out a tiny bit, because when you do screw in the screws on each side, it grabs it, so it will pull it. So throw that in there. I should just take this glass off. You know what? I am. Alright. So that's new. Damn it, I'm not gonna get it off. So this is a learning experience, as you guys can see. So don't do what I just did right there. Alright, we didn't scratch the glass or anything like that. But at least take the glass off before you do it. Before you put the coils in. I need to put that in a tiny bit more, because if I left it overhanging like that, then it was gonna touch the outside of the tank, and we don't want that. Because if like if the wire touches the outside of the tank at all, it's gonna say check atomizer and give you huge problems. It's gonna throw off the resistance to a point where it's probably not gonna work. So we're gonna go with this here. Let me just tighten this down. Like so. Okay, we'll say that's pretty much where we want it. We want it right in the center where the juice well, so it's gonna line up good. So what we're gonna do, we're just gonna throw it on the old Arymi M1 here, which I also did a review on, just to fire it so you guys can see what's going on, which I will leave the link in the description for the review of this one. So right now it came in as 0.26 on my mod, but it came in at 0.36 on my ohm reader, which is weird. So I'm just gonna run it at 30 watts real fast. I'm just gonna hit the fire button, and then I'm probably gonna get my ceramic tweezers, and then we're gonna have to bump this up. We'll just go to randomly 43 real fast, light it up. That's good though, because you always want it to have from the inside out. That's how you want to heat it up. So at 43 watts, it's coming in from the inside out, and that's what we're looking for. Okay, so I put it on my ohm reader here, so it would be easier to tell what this actually comes in at. So it's reading at 0.36 right now. So if we did, as I burp all over the place, if I did throw the other one on here, as long as my math is correct, that I just made up in my head, that this would go down to like a 1.5, 1.7, I think, if we had both of them on there. So it would be 0.17-ish, something like that. Yeah, whatever. Okay, so we cut our cotton here, and that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna lace up our cotton. We're gonna take off this outer piece right here. Just gonna slightly pack it down, and then we're gonna roll it. This might be actually slightly too big, but for the video it's all good because we learn from our mistakes. If it is, then I'm just gonna take off the other outer piece before I put this in here, because you want it to be like semi-tight, but you don't want it to be so hardcore that it's like pulling. Like I'm slightly holding the ohm meter, but you don't want it to be so jammed in there, because then you're gonna get dry hits like it's nobody's business. So it likes, there's some tension, but there's not a lot. Okay, so we're gonna roll with that actually. And now I don't actually know what to do at this point, so I'm gonna brainstorm it real fast, and then we're gonna figure it out. I should probably put the glass back on actually. All right, so let's do that. Our wicking here, so it's not jammed in there, but it sits on the sides because they go in a little cutout. We want to fluff it out a little bit. So I'm just gonna have it so it barely sits inside of the glass, like you guys can see. I don't know if that's the preferred method, but that's what we're gonna roll with because there's no directions to this thing. So we're shooting from the hip. And then what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna get it juiced up before I throw the rest of the components on, just so it's easier later. So we're just gonna hit it up. We're gonna paint it. We'll only do it to what we can get right now, and then we'll fill the rest of the tank just so it can evenly sit in there, so I know that's gonna sit in the juice wells perfectly. See, like the side is not already. I can already see that. Maybe we should fluff that out more, but I think it's gonna work because we don't want flooding. You know, that's gonna be the biggest problem in this whole thing. Get the threads going. Okay. Looks good to me, right? Oh, I should get the Allen wrench. I do a lot of like, I should do this in the video kind of thing, but I never really think about it before I actually do it, or make the videos, I could say. So I'm just taking the screwdriver now just to make sure that that's evenly spaced out, that there's not huge gaping holes, because I feel like that it could leak if it was like upside down or like sideways in my pocket, but it looks pretty good right now. So what we'll do, we'll fill it from this side. The capacity of this is, I can't remember, but I feel like it, I should look at the box. I think it was like 7 milliliters. It was like monstrous. And I'm using a 15 milliliter bottle over here. This comes from samplebox.com. and this one is creamy caramel with, I think it was 70 VG, which I like. I prefer 70 or above. One thing I did want to show, when you do put the wicks in and you tip it upside down, that it's not leaking out, okay? So that is one, like, a question that I would have if I was watching another video. And then when you take the top cap off, there's not much juice residue, because before, like, which I did mention, if you do tip it upside down, obviously it's going to come out of this hole here, and then it's not a good day, and then you're cleaning your table like I just did. But luckily it has the O-rings here and here, and the metal here is blocking that, kind of, but it's not blocking it completely. So that's why it's good to, with these O-rings, it's actually blocking it to, if you did feel like tipping it upside down, or if it is upside down in your pocket, or it falls out in your car, that it's not going to leak everywhere. So as you guys can see, I just put the top cap back on, and it didn't leak anywhere, which is really good. But I mean, it will probably help the juice hole too, juice flow too, to get in the wicks. Because if you think about it, if you're just vaping it straight up and down, then eventually you probably are going to get dry hits. So like with the tilt, like normal, then of course you're not getting any dry hits, you know. But I just want to throw that in there just because I felt like that was a question that I had when I first saw this thing. But it's working pretty good, and if you do switch it to a different mod, let's say, and just for example, this is a Sigeli Fuchai, and throwing it on here, because it's the 510 is a little back more on the mod, that there is really no overhang over here, which doesn't annoy me, but it is semi on the sides. But with this cover on here, because everyone knows the Sigeli Fuchais get sticky and fingerprinty, but with this extra cover on here, it's not actually, you can't really tell it's protruding. But if there is batteries in here, which there's not, but we'll do a review on this thing too. I know this one's old, but there's a lot of people getting in vaping now, so we'll do a review on the Sigeli Fuchai if you want to pick it up as well. With the Captain Morgan pose with the vape. I don't know, I think it's pretty good. I'm going to take it out on a daily, on a test run, and see what happens and let you guys know. I like it. If you liked anything in the video, please like, comment, subscribe, share it, put anything about it. And let's, if you have it, that's cool too, and give me some tips if you do. So, alright, and like always, deuces.